first high school party, first girlfriend, first hickey. You have a discussion. Instead, she made him feel like he did the worst thing in the world. He felt guilty. He felt like he had shame.
Which
Yeah.
was if you when you get older and you start to get curious
Yep.
and you start to wonder
Mhm.
and you're trying to pick, or maybe you find someone that's of interest, make
Mhm.
sure the qualities that you see in her are not the same as your mother.
Because the last thing that you want to do is make your child or put your child in a situation that they felt like they did absolutely wrong, that everything they do from thereafter, they are going to do their very best to hide from you.
The human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While the typical man is a simple creature, there exists a subgroup, the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex, allegedly. However, they are dismissed and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone. Joe, Jason, and Manny are the last of the nice guys.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another great episode of The Last of the Nice Guys. I am Joe, and with me is Manny and Jason.
Yes.
And tonight's episode is called A Father's Tale, a Hickey Tribunal. Jason.
Yes. So the shade. Okay, the Hickey Tribunal, of course. So, Hickey is, forget it. You already know what a Hickey is, okay? But as parents,
Let's look at the background of these
exactly.
pictures.
But as parents, what is the appropriate reaction or response when your child comes home with their very first Hickey? Would you chastise them or have a discussion? That's the question. Here we go. Now, this is another intimate story. I proudly threw my son his first high school party, 16-year-old birthday party, and it was here at Mikasa. I turned the entire ground floor into a black light party. So basically, it was a club. Every single light bulb was turned into a black light bulb. I had glow sticks. I had glow in the dark things. I had UV reacting crap. I had glow in the dark balloons. Everything you can imagine. It was a great time. I met my son's alleged first girlfriend. She came to the party. Somewhere along the line, they got a little frisky and she gave him a Hickey. I saw it at the end of the night and I said, "Is that a Hickey?" He's like, "Yep." I was like, "My man," and then that was what it was. I was like, "My man," you know what I'm saying?
My man.
So, it happened here. It happened at home. And that was about it. And I didn't think anything of it per se. I did mention to him, listen, you know how your other side of the family is, i.e. his mother and his mother's side. You might want to Google how to get rid of a Hickey faster. They may not react the way I reacted. I said it as a matter of fact, but I didn't really realize how much of that I meant or how like prophetic that was. So let's skip forward a couple of days. My son wants to go out and hang out with his friends at a park. I'm at work, can't do it. He decides to ask his nana, and yes, this is another mama nana troubles, not drama, just troubles. There's a difference between issues with the other side of a family and actually having baby mama drama. I haven't had baby mama drama in years. That's not cause for concern for her to start that now, but troubles and issues, yes, you're always going to have that because ideologies clash. He asks his nana, can he give him a ride to the park? And now this is broad daylight. It was going to be him, I think his girlfriend, maybe another friend, who knows? I said it was fine. According to his rendition of the story, when his nana saw the hickey on his neck, she freaked out because she's a good Christian woman after all, right? Anyway, yeah, that was pure sarcasm, by the way. So she freaks out about it, saying he's too young to have a hickey. He's too young for any of that nonsense. She says to him, I will only take you to your gathering if your father texts me and says it's okay. So I have nothing to say to her or their mother after the last nonsense. If you haven't listened to A Father's Tale, Defamation of Character, you should. It informs why I reacted the way I reacted. So he tells me, and I said, Joe, which is my son's name is Joey. Joe, love you to death. I won't be messaging her. You can tell her that you got the verbal okay from me. If she doesn't want to take you, hop on an Uber, I'll reimburse you. Simple as that. I said, I'm not. You're not using this as an excuse to have any dialogue with me. I got nothing to say to you. So as I'm making arrangements to get somebody else to take him, she comes back and takes him, right? And she drives him to the park, drops him off, and immediately turns around and says, you know what? This isn't happening on my watch. I don't want to have any part in this. Get back in the car. He says, why? My dad says, I can be here. She says, no, get back in the car. He says, why? My dad says, I can be here. She says, I don't care. Get back in the car. My kids are very well mannered, very polite. At this point where my son should have said, go fuck yourself, he got back in the car and decided to wait. And he didn't even call me when this was happening. To avoid any more drama or any more issues, he waited till he was dropped back off to let me know that he was brought back, and that shows how much, how well behaved, but how I don't want to say mature, but mature, because what he could have done is he could have called me on the spot and said, listen, Nana's trying to drag me back to the house. So, even though you said it's okay, he knows he would have got out of having me put him on speakerphone. I would have told her, leave my child alone, and it would have caused issues clearly. So he, in his wisdom, said, you know what, and this, by the way, this happened in front of his friends. So she embarrassed him in front of his friends, but whatever. So
wow, I didn't know that part.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Which is the reality of these people. So he gets dropped back off and he calls me and I get back and I'm just like, well, what happened? And he said, she freaked out. My son is a great kid. He's quirky, he's fun, but he wears his heart in his sleeve. Okay. He was emotionally upset. You can see it in his face. And I said, he was trying to stay strong. He was trying not to tear up, to break down, because he just feels like this, like she made it seem like he just did the worst thing in the world. She made it seem like, according to this, that she caught him buck naked peeing on a girl or something. Like, that's how bad it sounded when he told me. And he felt, mind you, I want to be very clear, first high school party, first girlfriend, first hickey, you have a discussion. Instead, she made him feel like he did the worst thing in the world. He felt guilty. He felt like he had shame. I haven't seen him like that. I don't want to say in a long time. I want to say ever. I had to, I hugged the boy. The guy was, he busted out. He let it out finally. He was shaking a little bit. Calmed him down. I said, listen, did you do anything wrong? No. Did you steal something? No. Are you getting punished? No. You're getting yelled at? No. I said, your Nana's words mean absolutely dick. I've told you that before. She's not your parent. I am your parent. And for all intents and purposes, you live with me. You've been living with me for the better part of 2 years, full time. I'm not causing trouble. I said, did we have a discussion about it? The next day? Yes, we did. We did. I didn't ignore it. I had a discussion, but I didn't chastise him. I just listened. And I'll discuss what I said later. But it was absolutely not how she made him sound, made him feel. I get him to calm down. We're good to go. His mother calls and he freaks out again. Like, freaks out. The boy almost falls to his knees, freaking out, because he knows that his Nana called his mother. Right? And he speaks to her and he goes, great. He puts his phone down. He says, great. She's coming over to talk to me. And I said, oh, shit. So as I'm trying to calm him down, my phone goes off to, let you into the gate. And I thought that was the Nana bringing back my oldest. My oldest went out as well. She took him to the mall or something. I didn't know it was her. So when she comes through, she's here, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, Joey, go talk to your mom. You have to, you have to talk to your mom. It's your mom, but please lock the door behind you. She's not allowed in this house. I did say that. I told him. I said, make sure. I said, make sure you take the keys and lock the door behind you. She's not allowed in this house because I know her. I know she's gonna try and because I'm not speaking to her either. I have nothing to say to her either. He goes outside and she says, "Call your father outside for me." So he comes back inside and says, "Dad, she wants you outside." I said, "No." I said, "Go back out there and tell her that I politely decline and that I've already spoken to you about this." And so he went back out there and he told her, no, he's not coming out, but that he already spoke to me about it. He says she did some kind of like sarcastic nod or okay, fine, or some, I don't know how to explain it. Like when somebody's just like, kind of thing, whatever. I don't know what that means. So she has a discussion with him. He says it's the same stuff that I said to him, but in a more of a disappointed kind of way. And she prefaced it by saying, just don't go to the route that me and your dad went, kind of thing. And that was the end of that. He calmed down. Our mutual friend JJ came over and we talked about it, and he felt a little better. And now I would like to say he's over it now. But why am I bringing this up? Because his Nana, especially, and his mother overreacted and made the boy feel like he did something wrong.
Like shit.
He's a real shit. I mean, the guilt, hurt. How are you going to turn something, manhood, changing, experiencing your body into something terrible to make the child feel bad? The boy, I can't tell you the last time I saw my son break down into tears like that. They made him feel like shit. Again, first high school party, first girlfriend, first hickey. Do you chastise the child and make them feel like they did something absolutely wrong? Or do you have a discussion and express safe? So, okay, I had chose the other side. They chose scolding. I chose the other side. In the drive, I said, listen, we already had the sex talk. You already know that I said being a young parent is not easy. It's not fun. And that's you want to be very safe about that and STDs, wrap it up. But I focus more on the whole, listen, just make sure you have to understand that with women, you can be put in a situation that can be unfavorable for you. Make sure that you always get consent, that no means no, and that you be careful of who you're around because of what can happen. Women can be put in situations, and you can be by guilt by association, you can be blamed. But also, and I'm sorry to say this, women cry rape. They do. So you have to be careful that if you're going to be with your lady, and it's you, your lady, and 4 other dudes, maybe you should rethink that. Maybe you should not put in that position. Because why do I say this? Because I didn't realize this until my friend Jennifer actually said, you do know that you had one girl in a house full of guys. And I said, well, what is it? Oh. And I said, you know what? That's true. That was a very compromising position. And I told him, listen, just be very, very careful. Okay. And don't get yourself into trouble. Don't do anything stupid. Be careful because just because you were raised a certain way, not all guys were raised a certain way. Not all guys will see a girl by herself and say, okay, cool, she's just my homie. They'll see it differently. Be careful. Okay. But also don't put yourself in a position where you can be screwed over by a girl, just because in our climate, women's words are believed before proof. I'm not saying victim blame. I'm not saying, you shouldn't take it seriously, but I don't believe in #believe all women. I'm sorry. I don't, because people lie. Women are vindictive. Women are malicious. So I explained that to him as well. So basically I said the safe sex, don't be in a compromised position. No means no. Be careful about the company that you keep, and be wary. And I also said, listen, I said, in a perfect world, I would tell you, don't stick it in with any woman that you're not willing to spend the rest of your life dealing with. I said, that's in a perfect world. I said, since that's not possible, we're men, just wrap it up and be safe. and make
Mhm.
sure. And if any questions, come to me, speak to me. Let's talk about it. That's what the conversation was. It was a simple drive. I think it was 20 minutes we spoke, and that was it. I didn't chastise him. I didn't. I congratulated him. I did. I won't lie. I'm a proud father. But what I am saying though is that I did not make him feel like he did anything wrong. And luckily for me, I got this message off before they flipped out. My only regret is that I did not heed my own warning to him and say, listen, cover that up, because the other side of your family, your mom's side, or at least your mom and your nana, they're not rational people. They're not. They never have been. They never will be. Why would you make him feel, and a good kid, by the way, he's not running the streets. He's not running trains on anybody. He's in a magnet school. He's getting his first job. He had a great party. Why would you want to make a good kid feel like they're a piece of shit?
Yes.
Why would you do that? So I ask you, gentlemen, you're as a parent, what is the appropriate reaction or response when your child comes home with their very first hickey? Joe.
I don't really necessarily like the fact. Well, first, let me just comment on what happened with Joey and
Yes.
and the family,
And
the other family.
And the no, not my don't no his
No,
his,
I'm not.
family,
Yeah, his family.
his
Yeah.
family. No.
I'm not really.
Well,
When
it's just
you
those people.
first
I didn't marry her
when
for a
you-
reason.
when you first told us about that in the chat, that us three gentlemen have,
Mhm.
I couldn't believe like the amount of criticism and
Yeah.
judgment that was placed on
Yeah.
like a 16-year-old for doing
Yeah.
something that kids realistically younger than him do much far worse nowadays.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. Let's be real. Let's be real. For this to be the first hickey at 16, I can't believe we made it at 16. I lost my virginity at 15 in a hotel in Boston. Not a hickey, virginity.
Yeah.
My son got a hickey at 16. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Which piggyback on that, the adults that we have and the grandparents probably did far worse
Listen,
than we can ever imagine.
If I was to break down what his mother did at around this age, and this is not hearsay, it's what she told me. Okay, by comparison, she has no right to make my son feel like a piece of garbage. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. I'm gonna throw it out there. I know this because it was what I was told by her in my youth.
And this is the reason why I don't like that hypocrite talk bullshit, especially coming from the
And
older
I get
generation.
it. And I get it. You want your children to do better than you. But by what they did is you're visiting the sins. Why would you think he's going to follow in our path? One, he has to find a woman fast as loose as you. I'm sorry. I want to throw it out there. Because I only have 2 kids by one woman 17 years ago. Okay. I didn't procreate after that. So in reality, I messed up one time with the wrong woman. So in reality, my son being a good kid, for him to go down my path, not her path, my path, he would have to find a woman as fast and loose, and I'm sorry to say it like this, as his friggin' mother. That's it. Simple as that. So what you should be focusing on is teaching him what not to look for, what not to be involved in, for certain behaviors in women that you should run away from, avoid, or not try to be. That's it. Actually, I was so mad. I told him, look, all you have to do is look at your mother and find somebody the exact opposite of her. And anybody the exact opposite of her, you can deal with. Knock yourself out. Anybody that has any traits like that, I was so mad. And it's not shit talking her. This is just reality. Those are the qualities that you should be concerned about them, because that's what tripped me up. Her qualities. Don't get me wrong, it takes 2 to tango. But again, I only procreated twice with one woman 17 years ago. That means something. She procreated 4 times. 4 times. Twice with me, twice with whatever she has right now. And that guy was the guy right after me. Something doesn't jive. So was it?
I always say that our kids' mothers should meet because
they should because they're
same fucking story, bro.
Same fucking story. Which is why me and you became best friends, because the universe thought it'd be really funny to have me and you go through the exact same story in parallel like that. So I'm going to ask you, right?
And you know what's funny? I told the same thing that you told Joey.
Yeah.
When you said you were pissed, it's the same comments and this basically the same thing I told my son, which was if you when you get older and you start to get curious, and you start to wonder, and you're trying to pick, or maybe you find someone that's of interest, make sure the qualities that you see in her are not the same as your mother. Yeah, I'm not saying she's a terrible woman, but I'm saying she's a terrible. No, I'm just No, I'm kidding. No, but yeah, I said the same thing.
No, you're not. You said the same thing. You said the same because that's the reality of it.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, but that's the point though. Is that you're trying to save? Are you trying to save our child from repeating our mistakes, or are we trying to save our child from meeting a woman like you? That's both. The reality. That's exactly my point.
Both.
So and it sucks that I feel this way again because we had peace for a while, but they really fucked that up. But this is how I feel. So, carry on, Joe.
No, I have a similar instance, but not exactly him getting. So, all right, this happened last year, in the summertime. My son has had a phone since he's 12 now. He's had a phone, honestly, since 10. So he's had it for 2 years. Last year he had an Android. Now he has an iPhone. He upgraded. I felt like he deserved it. He's doing really phenomenal in school. Anyway, so I have a Gmail linked to him that I see, which is a parent thing. You want to see if your child has his own email. So I want to see everything that comes through. It's normal, it's whatever. So I get a notification on the Gmail for a downloaded, and again, this is an Android he had. And a downloaded Android app /game, something like that. So I'm like, this is weird. I don't have an Android, and he don't usually download a lot of apps like that. He just has he has his set apps the way he has them, and he doesn't need to do anything else. So the app was called something girls. Like it was like some, those anime games that are just hentai, so love shit. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It wasn't necessarily hentai. It just had something to do with voluptuous, curvy, like girls.
Right, of course. So the stereotypical busty, curvy, anime girls. Right.
So I'm like,
I'm horny now.
So I wasn't near him at the time. I think he was with my mother. So I called him up. I said, "Hey, bud, did you happen to download anything lately?" And he was like, and let me tell you something. This is why I feel for our kids when they do these things, because he automatically bursted out and said, no. Like he felt the need to quickly deny that he didn't download that. But I can tell, I know my kid, so I can tell that he was very, like, it felt like he was caught.
Right. He felt ashamed. He felt like he was something wrong, as opposed to
So, and for a moment, I was about to go ahead and say, like, not yell at him, but I was about to, like, say, like, what are you doing? And I kind of stopped myself in a second. I was like, look, if you ever want to talk about this stuff, I'm fully open. I have no problem. I'm not even mad that you downloaded this. The thing is that I want you to be curious, because eventually you will run into stuff like this as you get older. It's just inevitable. You're going to run into stuff like this, either whether it be from your friends that tell you about these things or talk about it, or whether it be about other women that you run into in the future. You're going to see these things. And he was like, okay. Like he was like, all right, sure. Because he felt as if, one, he was shy, two, he was embarrassed, and three, he got caught red-handed. But
he didn't want to be punished. He was concerned about being punished.
That's the thing. I wasn't punishing him. I was just telling him it's okay to be curious, because you're eventually going to run into this anyway. Now, people on my end that I told, I think I told my woman, and I told my mom, and they were both like, oh, well, he shouldn't be seeing that, and he da. And it's like, look,
would you rather he see this thing on your watch, or in secret that you don't even know he's been exposed to it? This is what it comes down to. Okay, so let's go back to the Hickey real quick. I feel better that it happened on my watch at my place, and that he felt free to walk inside with it and not hide it. And when I addressed it, he's like, yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't sure how to, because it wasn't one of those, yeah. He was like, yeah, like that. Like he's cautious, you know? But he did. I would rather it happened here with me so that I can discuss it than it happened out there. He covers it up. It becomes hidden, and I never know, and I never have the discussion with him. That's my point, you know. So I get what you're saying. It's better. So when they say no, you shouldn't be looking at this. Look, it's gonna happen. Would you rather it happen behind your back? Or would you rather happen in front of you so you can then address it on the spot and say it's normal, but here's a responsible way to do it?
I'm so proud of you.
That's the question.
I'm so proud.
You know what I'm saying? Now we're talking about guys. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Manny, he has daughters. He's a father of daughters. So. And this, I mean, I know this is news to many of you guys, 68 episodes.
My God.
But Manny, he's a father of daughters.
Every episode.
He lays on this shit.
So say this shit
I want to be very clear.
Every fucking episode.
Give us that perspective, okay? As a parent to daughters.
I have a son too.
I know you do have a son, but he's a man now. You know, doesn't count.
So I've actually gone.
I have a son too. You know.
Yeah, I've actually gone through this, so I'm very, very well versed in this.
Well, you know what? Even better then. Give us the son aspect. But
now you're concerned about my son. You know what?
No, I'm more concerned about the whole you're a father of daughters part. You know what I'm saying? But okay, what is, as a parent, what is the appropriate reaction or response when your child comes home with their very first hickey? Manny.
So when my son came home with his first hickey, my immediate reaction was to flick it because I'm that parent. I joke about everything, and because for me, with my comedic nature, that's how you just make things more comfortable.
Yes.
So
yes,
he immediately when I go, hey, what's that on your neck? And he goes, what are you talking about? Because I guess he forgot that it was either there or he forgot to cover it or whatever. He was trying to hide it. So he goes, what are you talking about? I go, right there, flick. And he goes like, oh, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hickeys are great, but they're ugly as shit. I was like, bro. I said, but I was like, I'm happy for you. You know, I'm glad you had fun. Hope you were safe about it, whatever you decided to do or whatever. I said, just, you know, find somewhere else to put him. Don't leave him out in the open like that, because that's really like frowned upon.
I did. I want to be very clear. I did mention to him that, you know, the hickeys are seen as not professional. They're kind of taboo-ish, you know.
Especially because now he got his first job, so he's got to be very careful.
So you have to be very careful when it comes to those kind of things, because there's a stigma, man or woman. I did mention that to him. I'm not saying don't get them, but understand that there is a stigma there, you know. And yes, in the professional world, when you want to be taken seriously, you could have all the credentials in the world, but you have a big hickey right there, you're out of the game. So yes, I did mention that as well. You just reminded me. Carry on.
Yeah, I mentioned that to him because it was around the same time that he started working too. So, you know, it was the same thing. Just put him somewhere else or get him somewhere else, because, you know, they're frowned upon by everybody. So whatever is accepted inside of this house does not mean that it's always accepted out there.
Exactly.
So you have to just understand that you might have to play two different roles.
Yes.
Which everybody says, oh, you're being fake. No, society sucks and everybody's a bunch of stupid idiots.
Yeah, so we all have to. Everybody has different sides. So they have the home house. Right. They've got the professional place. They got the party place. Everybody has multiple sides. Right. There's no such thing as Geminis.
So we all have a certain role and a certain style that we have to portray when we're around certain people. So I was, you know, I'm an open book. I was always like that with my son. Whenever he was curious about where babies came from, how all this happened, whatever, I always had those conversations with him. When he came out to me as being gay, same conversation. I was like, hey, I'm fine, you know, whatever, no big deal. I love you regardless. Just be safe, be careful, and just watch the world around you, because, you know, that's just life. Now, when it comes to my daughters, I already have the guns sitting right there in my safe. Right? It's gonna be a whole different story, you know, because it's gonna be like, what's his name? What's your story with the guy? And has he broken your heart yet? No? Okay, give it a week.
Shit.
No. No, I mean,
still hates love.
Listen, me and my son's mom, we pretty much have the same ideals when it comes to like sex and whatever. So we pretty much mimic the same conversation with him. So that was fine. My
Lucky you.
daughters, my daughters, on the other hand,
That'll be a hot mess.
Yeah, I can't say that we're completely on eye to eye because, you know,
are you on the same book? I don't want to ask chapter or page. Are you on the same book?
I think we are, but it's kind of
they're in the same series of books. He's in one volume, she's in another volume. But
no, I think we are at some point, but it's just like we'll have conversations like, oh, when do you think it's appropriate for them to get their ears pierced? And I'm like, they already have their ears pierced. What are you talking about? She's like, no, you know, like the 3 million of them on the ear. I don't know, because I'm more of a professional take on certain things. So when I see things like that, I kind of mirror like, okay, what are they going to do as far as work? Like, where are they going to go? Are they going to really have their first job? Like, I think about stuff like that because managerial background. That's just what I look at.
Allegedly.
So I was like, you know, I don't want her to like, you know, my girls, I don't want her to be like, oh, it's perfectly okay to get a face tattoo, you know, just get a really small one right here, you know, it's fine, you know, like something stupid. And then, and then they go do it. They go to interview and they're like, yeah, we were looking for something else. Like, I don't know why anybody. And then they got to go through life like, I don't know what happened. And I'm like, yeah, your mom has a different ideal than me. Like, yeah, she'll do the whole like, I wanna color my hair pink. I got hired with my hair pink. And I'm like, that was lucky. Because if somebody walked into my, you know, to one of my interviews and they had like this extravagant pink hair, that's the
sure they wouldn't get hired.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm looking at. And then I'm thinking, what is this person going to bring to my table? Not a damn thing. Thank you. Have a nice day. Love your hair. Yeah. Just not hair.
Because Manny hates strong female.
He's gonna keep carrying it over. I'm gonna carry it over. But no, I mean, listen, if my daughters came home with a hickey, obviously that would be a conversation. I would want them to be comfortable discussing it, because the last thing that you want to do is make your child or put your child in a situation that they felt like they did absolutely wrong, that everything they do from thereafter, they are going to do their very best to hide from you.
Please repeat that. Please repeat that entire thing over again. I need this to come from your mouth. Verbatim. I need this to come from your mouth for those that are thinking that I'm being a certain way because I have issues with my kids' mom and dad. I want you to repeat that, because exactly what I've been trying to say, but repeat that exact same thing again.
The one thing you want to do when you discuss things with your children is you want to make them feel 100% comfortable. You don't want to put them in a situation where they felt like they did something absolutely wrong, to make them feel like they have to hide everything from there on further from you. Exactly. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. We all did it when we were kids. Our parents did it when they were kids.
Yes.
So to make our current generational children the same way go through that and try to hide the truth from them and try to hide life, that doesn't accomplish anything. It actually hinders.
Thank you. Preach, brother.
It's a hindrance. You want
to talk break the cycle? There's a cycle to break right there.
That's definitely a cycle to break. Listen, growing up, all right, my father thought that I was going to be gay because I didn't lose my virginity at the time that he felt I should have lost it. I lost it several years after that.
2023, what was it? 23 years old?
It was just last year. Shut up. God.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
God. Insensitive, Jason.
God, it's a sensitive subject.
I thought I was giving him a heads, whatever.
You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth.
So,
mother of daughters.
Yeah, it's great. Shut up. You're just jealous because you see how they came and they loved me.
Oh my God.
Shut
up. But you know, I grew up with a whole different thing. My father was trying to like push life into my face,
right?
Whereas I was like, I just want to learn it on my own time. Like, let's just
you
go on my own pace. Right. And he's just like, no, look here, just take it off, just take it off.
Look, TNA.
Right. And I didn't do that with my son. I told my son all the time, like, hey, listen, if you want to learn something, if there's something you're curious about, if you have any questions, come to me, go to your mother.
I'm the papa. Come on.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. And that's the same thing I want to do for my girls. There's anything you want to discuss, if you're not comfortable with your mom, come to me. If you're not comfortable with me, go to your mom and then come to me, because I don't always think that your mom says the right things. So just, let's just try to feel it out, like get her perspective, see how she is, and then just get a second opinion.
Just so we're clear. If sons or daughters, we know if your daughters came home with hickeys, would you have a discussion or would you chastise them?
Discussion.
Discussion. There's no reason to chastise.
I just want that.
Why would you chastise? Yeah.
Why would you chastise your child?
No,
you're absolutely right, Joe. That's a good question to ask.
Like
why
I
would
just
you do
said,
that, huh?
If you chastise your child, you're just leading them into what you don't want them to do.
Right.
And then the next step is you catch them doing something that you didn't want them to do, that you pushed them to do, and then you punish them for doing all of that because it's your damn fault.
Because you've made something that could be a timid or insignificant forbidden fruit. When you say no, okay. So now what? So what if we just fully embrace the whole? That's terrible. You're too young for a hickey. How dare you? Don't go down the route as me and your father, right? But he liked the hickey, so he's gonna do it on his own, behind our backs. Right. Cover it up with makeup, hide it. It becomes a fight. It becomes issues. Well, then he wants to get a little handsy. He wants to go to third base. He does all these.
Or he's gonna do what we used to do back in the day with the towels around their necks.
Exactly.
He's just walking around the towels.
He likes wearing hoodies. He just wear the hoodie, put the hoodie up all the time. And because we knew that's who he was about, we've never. Why would you want your child hiding stuff from you because you gave him a negative reaction to something insignificant? A hickey is not a gateway to young parenthood. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not a gateway.
This thing right here is temporary. It will go away. Yeah. It will not be there 3 weeks from now. Right. It is not going to be there till the end of time. I've had a couple of hickeys in my life. Do you still see them? I mean, I think this is kind of
that's a mole. You want to get that checked out.
It's a mole.
Yeah, you want to get that checked out. Yeah, you might want to get that checked out.
Anybody know a good therapist?
I don't know if it's. I don't think it's benign. You might want to check it out.
Oh my god.
No, but I'm being honest though. A hickey is not a gateway to young parenthood, to innocence lost. It's not. So why make it sound like that?
But you know what
I'm saying?
Even
Thank
if you
God
lose
he was with me. Thank God.
Even if you lose your virginity, that's not even like a loss of freaking innocence, man.
It's
like
not.
Everybody does it.
But I don't even want to go that far because we didn't get to that point yet. We're just talking about a love mark.
That's
a love mark.
That's the scare. Most of these parents or individuals that are like so scared of hickeys is because, oh my God, the things that it could lead to. So what? If you did your job as a parent, I'm sorry. If you're not the parent, mind your damn business. But if the parent did their job as the parent, that child will know what's good to do after the fact and not.
Exactly. It's a biting indictment of your parenting. For you to freak out the way they freaked out, it's a biting indictment of how their nana raised their mother and how their mother believes she whatever raised our kids. I'm sorry, my boys, both of them, very good kids, smart, intelligent.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to be very clear. I take full credit for that because, from my understanding, her other two, not the same way at all. Opposites, bipolar. This is what I'm understanding. I don't know them like that. I don't care. My kids are good because of me. I did a really good job. Okay.
Yep.
And I defer to my parenting that I guided them, but I did not scare them into repeating my mistakes. They know what my mistakes were. I said, use this as a life lesson to do better, but I'm not going to chastise you for making a mistake. I'm here. It happens. Okay. I'm here to guide you, but not force your hand.
Right.
Okay? Unless you're doing something wildly ridiculous or you're doing something incredibly inappropriate, then sure, I got to lay the spine. But other than that, I'm about being right next to you as you're walking on the path, not on your path, not holding your hand, but I'm right there. It's kind of like what I think of my parenting. I think of, when you go to airports and they have the little escalator on the ground makes you walk faster. but right next to it is just regular walking, so you can walk.
I love those things.
That's me. It's them on the escalator walking fast, and me speed walking right behind them, just to make sure that they get. That's how I look at it. You know.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Does your ex have any brothers?
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting.
Yeah. She has full and half. Full and half.
That would sound something like coming from a parent that didn't have any boys at all because they don't know how to deal with it. So that's very interesting.
If I can psychoanalyze them for you, and it's because the way their mom was in her youth, she remembers it. I'm not saying she was a whore. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying though, and not even insinuating that at all, but she remembers how she was at that age. And I'm pretty sure her mom, the Nana, knows how she was at that age. And they're afraid that my youngest is gonna be a little loosey-goosey, a little fast, a little up there. That's what I think it is. It's trauma. It's trauma. She's traumatized from her decisions, from getting knocked up by me, leading to her marriage and having 4 kids. And it's also the trauma of the parenting style between her mom and her. Okay, I don't want to say toxic, but it was toxic.
Yeah,
I only got involved at the tail end. I met her at 18, 19, 20 is when I was really involved in that. And it was the single most toxic shit I've ever been involved in, ever in my life. I can't say that's the way it is now. We're talking about 17 years later, but it sure sounds like it. So what I'm trying to say though is that it's got to be some kind of post-traumatic stress from her being a young parent and all the nonsense that went on because of that. Okay,
but
that's what it is. She's traumatized. Her mom.
I get it,
and they're because that's the only way to explain that reaction. That over the top, overwhelming, overpowering reaction that especially the Nana had for no reason.
But my question is, okay, don't these older parents or just these overprotective, I should say, overprotective parents and overbearing parents realize that it's our job as parents to guide our children to the right path, not push them to it or try to shove them into it, I should say, because what happens when you try to push something in the opposite direction? You're going to get friction and you're going to get tension.
Yeah, you're going
to get recoil. You're going to get pushed back. And that's pretty much how, some things in parenting has to be. You don't control your adolescents' lives. Like it just doesn't happen. Now, as small children, as small children, sure.
Of course.
Because
you dictate everything.
You dictate, you do that, and that's the molding period. That's just how routine, you get them.
Right.
Right. But once they get into the adolescence period and they start learning things on their own, they start figuring out who they are themselves.
Exactly.
Their personal selves are developing. There's no controlling them after that. Now at this point, you have to advise them and you have to guide them to a path.
Exactly.
And then once they get to the adulthood, your job is done. At this point, it's like, I give you advice, you don't listen to it. You're an adult, figure it out on your own, but that I don't understand. You have teenage sons, Joey's son's almost there. He's what do they call it? A tween or preteen, whatever they call that.
Preteen, I think. Yeah.
Oh, he's 12, right? 12?
Yeah, 12.
You're right there, sucker.
Yeah, he's right there. So it's like,
I can't wait to hear Joe's story of how he yelled at his son when he came up with a hickey.
He's gonna be like, I punched this kid in the eye.
No, you know what?
Too soon.
You know what's even funnier about this is that this is kind of relevant to a discussion I had about a week and a half ago, going on 2 weeks, where his mother was texting me, telling me that apparently my son, because you guys are gonna get a kick out of this. Apparently, my son was telling his mom more about why he can't talk to me about women, because he says, "Oh, Daddy always says women are difficult."
So you set yourself up for that.
You're right. But again, I tell the boys this. I said, guys, I tell the boys, you have your entire life to have women make your life miserable. Stick to video games. That's what I've been telling them.
And she took it to such offense. Like, why would you tell them they're difficult? I'm like, should I lie And should I paint him a fairy tale fucking picture of how
I've told
you guys
boys.
really are?
Yeah,
Come on.
you guys
I'm
are
not gonna sit here and lie to my son.
Most of you are not princesses. Most of you guys are not queens. Not at all. You want to be treated that way. You demand to be treated that way, but you don't earn it.
But you're not.
Okay,
You're
you
not.
definitely are. And you sure as hell don't treat us like kings. So I'm just keeping it real.
No, that's why I make these women make daddy a sandwich. That's my goal.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make
you
daddy a
open
sandwich.
the door. You want to pay for the first
sandwich.
date? Make me a sandwich. It's why I
But,
tell my boys now. So I tell them right now. I said, listen, like my son, same Joe. It was a different girl though. He wanted to get her a gift, and I said, why? Are you dating her? No. Have you been on a date with her? No. You like her? Yes. So why do you want to give her a gift? Well, because I want to. I said, okay, how did she earn this from you? That's what I asked him. I said, what did this girl do to earn this behavior? Not just because you want to. Give me a reason. Besides you like her, besides she's pretty, what did she do to earn this from you? And I tell my boys right now, and I mean this, do not overextend yourself to a woman. Do not treat her any particular unless they have earned it. What have they done beyond their looks, beyond your attraction to them? How did they earn this behavior from you? Now, going on a date, that's one thing. You ask her out on a date, yeah, you got to pay. But if you're going to bring her jewelry and fine wines and there's no whatever, it's kind of like how girls say, don't give it up because then they won't commit to you. Same thing. Don't treat a woman like a queen if she hasn't earned it. Don't. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. We have to
teach them the Sims early.
Exactly. I'm trying to avoid the heartbreak that I went through by doing special things for women who never deserved it, never earned it, never did. What's the difference between a $70 date and a $200 date? It's how much she earned it. Why did she earn the $200 date? Is it because she's stuck up because she expects that, or because she's done something that made you feel like she's earned that? Or you wait until later on. And so I don't remember whether he ended up giving it to her or not, or if he had already pre-bought it or something. But this is what I tell them: do not go above and beyond for a woman unless they have earned it. As long as you have, I may not agree with what you determine she earned it with, but as long as if things don't work out, you'll say, you know what, she earned it because of this. It didn't work out. Cool. Not, damn it, I gave that chick a friggin' bracelet and she wants to be friends and we never even went out on a date. Who's the one that feels stupid now? The girl did. She's going to keep it and have a blast with it. And she'll always tell somebody, oh yeah, I got this bracelet from some guy that I think liked me. Moving on. You came out of pocket.
Yeah.
You did something sweet and nice, and for absolutely no reason. That's what I'm saying. I'm a strong proponent of reciprocation.
Yeah.
Reciprocation. Sorry, it was a tangent. Carry on.
No need. But I just think that it's funny how I have to be the one to censor myself when it comes to me talking about women to him. But she's allowed to say whatever she wants, which is double standard. Which is double standard. But that's women and men, especially baby mamas and baby daddies. There's always a double standard. But what I would say to you, Joe, is the boys can still come to me about women. They know that how my stance on it, especially the way I'm dating these days. I wouldn't dumb yourself down to Joe. Not to Joe, to Justine, to Jason. That's why his name is similar to yours.
Exactly. I would reinforce that just because you feel like they're difficult, you can still come to me. Still talk to me about it. This is just my opinion, but reinforcing them that just because this is the opinion that I have upon women doesn't mean you shouldn't still talk to me. I'll still give you my honest answer.
Right.
Based upon your thing. Right. I'll still look at you and say they're difficult. Like I tell my boys now, they'll tell me something about a girl. I like her, go on a date, and I'll say, "That's great, guys. Really, just video games." But carry on, I mean, I was the one buying. I was the one buying their Valentine's Day gifts for years. They'd call me, "Dad, can you give me?" I'd be like, "Guys, just video games, but okay." And I still got it anyway. So
right.
So if he's really stifling his talk with you about women, just because of that comment, I would just go to him and say, "Listen, this is how I feel about it, but you can still talk to me. I'll still give you my honest opinion. I'll still listen, but in the back of my mind, I'll keep saying, they're difficult, right?" You know what I'm saying? So
I had to break it down and let him know that even though I said what I said,
Right.
I made it clear to him. I
Maybe
made it clear to you.
Maybe it sounded dismissive to him. Maybe that's what it was. Unintentionally dismissive. Maybe that's why he didn't want to
because he know. Okay, so he knows that my patience is very thin and my temper is very short fused. So
right.
I sometimes go on a tangent.
I think everybody knows that.
Right, exactly. So when I have discussions with him in the car, or it's just me and him driving, I'll have these discussions with him just randomly, and
right.
it does come off as me being like
Abrasive.
just fed up with a lot of things. So my discussions with him usually go off by telling him the difficult comment, but then I recently told him I recently told him, I was like, even though I'm saying they're difficult, there are still the very few rare women out there that actually give you some peace of mind and joy in your life.
Those are the thing is that you rough,
big rough. they're in the desert somewhere. You can't find them.
Deep desert.
But yeah, that's one of the things that I made it apparent to him, is that you can find these women that are out there. The only thing is, I told him I don't want you to rush into anything thinking that this is what you need, because you don't.
Yep.
What you need to do is you need to focus on what you're doing. Get out of school, graduate as fast as you can.
Yep.
Okay, because they're teaching you bullshit anyway. No offense to Board of Ed, and just find out what you want.
All offense. They know what they're doing. They're not doing their jobs properly.
What did Rick Sanchez say in Rick and Morty? School is not for smart people.
No, it's not.
Right. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
School is not for smart people.
And it's the reason why I told him, finish what you're doing. Just get the hell out of there.
Just get the paper.
And stop focusing. Look, if you want to have fun in between, have your fun in between.
Yeah.
As you get to high school, do it. Just be safe. Don't be stupid. Have fun, but focus on yourself to get the hell out. Because as soon as you get out, then that's when the real world starts, man. That's when you start getting your shit in order, and you start figuring out what you want to do as a career. And I told him, that's the big thing too. I told him, I said, please, I don't give a fuck about these women. Focus on getting a good career off the bat, because
the women will come.
I did not. So focus
neither
on that.
did I. Well, that's not true. It's not true. I procreated and kind of derailed. I'm what you call a dream deferred kind of guy. But no, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I've told the boys, I said, you guys don't want to be a young father, you know. I mean, it's fun and games, and we have a great time. And it was I made the best out of the cards that I dealt myself. I dealt these cards to myself. Right. I picked the girl. I got it in. I had to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I decided to stick around. I decided to be. It's the cards I dealt myself. I don't get me wrong. It's all smiles, but there was a lot of tears. You know, a lot of stress. I said, I was like, you know what, guys, dating isn't important. You can have your fun, let them come in out your life, but you need to, you know, focus. And the sad part about it though is that when I met their mom in college, dating was I wasn't taking it seriously. That's the sad part about it. I can't even say, I was looking for love in college. She was one of 5 women that wanted me. And I said, she wanted it more. I'll take her. I was so nonchalant about dating. You like me now? You don't like me? Cool. And look what happened, you know, and that's being nonchalant. I wasn't looking for anything special. I wasn't even looking for a good lay. I was just going with the motions, being my DJ, going to school, making my grades. Oh, this girl wants to date me. Cool. Get in, get out. Well, you're pregnant. What? You know what I'm saying? So as I said, just you do what you got to do, but you know, focus on what's important. And I told him priorities. So the Hickey is great now, but but make sure you get your A's and your B's. You know what I'm saying? That'll come, that'll go, you know. And you know, and again, I'm not raining on his parade. I was thrilled for him. It was his mother and his nana, especially his nana, and especially his mother, especially both of them.
Who has no say in any of this.
Okay. I don't know how to tell her to back the fuck off without telling her to back the fuck off. You know, so
there isn't an easy way to do it.
There isn't a way to say this. And you know the sad part about it is that they think, like my friend told me that that the last podcast when I was talking about it, that I was talking to them, I was being immature, that I was being passive aggressive and not having a dialogue. And I said, I don't have a dialogue. I don't need to have a dialogue. I said, there's nothing they're going to say to me that's going to change what was said to me or said about me at that meeting and how I feel. It's not about being passive aggressive. I'm saving them from my mouth because I have so much to say to them. And there's a lot of expletive deletes that are going to be said. And I said, you know what? What is this going to do for me? But reinforce the nonsense that they already think, that they've been thinking for years, and just give me heart palpitations. So honestly, the fact that I'm not engaging in dialogue with them about what just recently happened, and I'm not going to engage in dialogue with them about what this happening either, is because there is no point. There is no logical discussion with these women whatsoever. It's how they feel, what they feel, why they feel. It's always been like
That's
that.
it.
Which is why I've backed off and said there's no point.
And this is the reason why they're in denial when it comes to what they can do in life, because everything is based off of emotion.
Yes, they are. And like I said before, they define the reality through misery and suffering. Anytime things are great, they want to fuck it up. Clearly, this is how I feel about this.
And by emotion, too emotional.
By emotion.
You can't jump into
by emotion.
You can't be a law
There's no
enforcement
logic.
officer.
There's no logic.
And use your emotional tactics in a field like that, especially in a field like that.
If there's anybody that needs to learn this thing, that before you react or speak, take 5 deep breaths and count to 10, then react. It's these two women. Because if they would just take a moment first before reacting and realize, okay, let's get some logic here. Maybe I'm overreacting, and react. Then immediately doing the nonsense that I've complained about these last 2 episodes. Okay. And I'm the one who's wrong because I don't want to have any conversations. I don't want to discuss because there's no point anymore. There hasn't been a point forever. I've fought for years to no avail. I'm burnt out. I'm not interested. You know, all these 2 women, their mom and their nana can do is provide great inspiration for great episodes like these for men dealing with this exact same thing, and for us 3 to commiserate. That's literally what the only point of it now. I'll take it. It's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care, you know, if they hear this or not. I don't care who listens to this, because this has nothing to do with it. It's not. It's me venting and allowing to speak, but it's also commiserating with my buddies, and it's also giving this to those who are listening across the world. By the way, there's plenty of people listening to us across the world in many different countries. I can probably tell you which countries are not listening to us now. Okay. And there's a guy right now listening who's going through this exact same thing or something similar. And he's listening in. And even if we don't have the advice or the answers for you, just to know that somebody else is dealing with it, that's what this podcast is for. That and to call out our baby mamas about how shitty they are. But final thoughts, gents, before we wrap this up.
Oh, okay, Manny.
I
know you got some juice.
It's the same thing, man. Just like I said, your role as a parent is to guide your children, not shove them into a path, because you're going to get rejection, and you know, you don't want to make your children or your grandchildren feel that they've done, you know, the most forsaken thing in the world, because all they're going to do is they're going to want to do it. That's why they did it in the first place. They were curious. They might like it. They're going to want to continue doing it. Therefore, they're going to start hiding it from you. And then you're going to just create tensions if you're a grandparent, which is why I don't think they should have a say in anything. So shut the fuck up about everything. You're creating a divide with the parent, the actual parent who actually has a say, and that child. With your mouth opening, like with her, with Joey's nana saying something, you know, to make him feel, if he was a different boy and didn't have the mindset that he had and the relationship that he had with you, it would have driven you two apart even further. Yep. You know, because he would have felt some kind of way, like, damn, like if I'm getting chastised by grandma, you know, I can only imagine what my father's going to feel like. I might as well not even bring it up. I might as well just start figuring it out. And that's just, it creates so many issues. And that's the problem. No one sees that. And then they want to throw stupid shit like religion. No, stop it. Religion doesn't raise children. You raise children. Okay. Even if you were to go, even if you wanted to go by the good book, it is a guideline. It is not a strict set of rules that you have to follow by day in and day out for the entirety of being a parent. Because not for nothing, when was that book written?
Manny,
where are we at now?
You gotta wrap this up. I gotta go sacrifice my goat. Okay, hurry it up.
You gotta wrap up your goat.
No, I gotta sacrifice my goat. He's wrapping up.
Yeah, he's trying to.
I'm getting Old Testament on you.
He's trying to call in Satan in this.
Yes,
but
yes. I'd sell my soul to have a few not for very long, but a few demons to haunt their mom and their nana for a little bit. Just a little bit. Haunt them,
You sell
Just
your
as
entire
nice.
soul? How
Oh,
long are these? Let's talk about this. How long
Huh?
is this going to happen? I know some people.
Oh yeah, with the blood sacrifice cutting.
I mean, you'd be joining half of the music industry anyway. So go ahead.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Was it blood over intent? Some nonsense like that. It's a
Yeah, man.
witchcraft. But I
But
But
then
absolutely
you gotta do some. You gotta do some
say
butt stuff too.
Lucifer, give me a call. We gotta talk. I
Don't
speak
forget,
in
you gotta do
jest,
some
of
butt
course.
stuff too.
I was speaking what? No, okay, I'm not okay. Then forget it.
You have to. That's,
Okay,
that's the price you pay, buddy.
Lucifer,
That's
lose
the
my
price
number.
you pay.
Don't worry about it. It's not worth it. I'll let them ruin my
You
kids'
want
life.
that?
Then
You want
That's
that
okay.
money and fame?
No, I don't. I
Then-
don't want.
then
I don't
don't-
want none of that. I don't want none of that. I'm out. I'm good. They can ruin my kid's life. I give up. Carry
but
on.
yeah,
man.
just as a grandparent, you should really be having those conversations with the parents, not with the child itself, because it's not your child's to raise. Yeah, you helped, whatever. It's not your place. As a parent, do the very best you can to make your child feel comfortable in any situation so that they're comfortable talking to you about everything. The last thing you want is your child not telling you anything and hiding things from you, because
Yeah, no.
you don't want surprises, and no one wants
that.
surprises, especially the bad surprises for your kids. We don't want that. Like
Mhm.
let's just say they're doing something crazy like drugs. You don't see it, you don't hear it, you will never know about it because they're afraid to talk to you about it. And you can actually tell them something that might actually change their lives. So grandparents, shut the hell up. Parents, do your job. Save lives. That's what we're about here. We're about saving lives.
Save lives. Mr. Joe, final
Which
thoughts.
is what I will be doing in January, allegedly. Anyway.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No, you're not going to be saving lives.
Yes, right. Controlling.
Bend over, Manny. So
Grab me with a good time.
trust me, I want to.
I know you do.
Chase is like, what?
No, because I know you're speaking it sarcastic, but that sounded mad genuine. Like like all you had to do is lick your lips, and I would have been like, all right, like that's how.
Mind your fucking business. You fucking messed up my whole thought, man. My lips. Me and Manny always had something going on. You just are out of the loop. It's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean,
all right. Yeah.
I cook.
I fly down there. I fly down there, and I don't even contact you. I just fly right back up without even seeing you. He knows.
Like a typical guy. I cook. I clean. I make sure he's good, but he's getting it in with the exotic little slut. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. That's the story of my life. I'm a good woman, good man. I'm a good man, and this is how I get treated.
Oh my
good.
God. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of your son.
I'm proud of him too. I'm
so proud of him because he eventually is gonna walk into that world of his friends and their friends talking about this stuff, whether it be about sex, whether it be about kissing, hickeys. They're gonna walk into this eventually,
yes,
girl or boy. And it's like I said before, it's gonna happen. You can't avoid this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was worse back then. What makes you think it's not gonna be worse now?
Exactly.
And even now, in a lot of high schools, you hear about stories about kids doing it in the hallway, doing this, doing that. I mean, that's just what happens. You cannot. This is not a Mormon. This is not a Mormon church. This is not like this is some. You can't force kids, especially young teenagers, in their prime, almost in their prime.
This is not the house of Joe, so
to go in their prime to go ahead and stop them from doing what they eventually will do. Peer pressure is a bitch.
It is.
And eventually it's going to succumb to the fact that they're going to try these things. And honestly, I told my son again, like, I don't care as long as you talk to me, because I will definitely be by your side. As long as you're not killing people, as long as you're not getting women pregnant on purpose, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Just be safe and keep. One of the best quotes I always tell my kid is, even when he's taking the bus home by himself, which is what he's been doing now for a while.
Women are difficult.
Women are difficult. and I tell them, and I'm like, keep your eyes open at all times.
Oh.
I mean, just keep your eyes. It's simple shit. It's not. It's no scientific fucking paragraph or whatever. It's just keep your eyes open and pay attention, man. I always pay attention.
Like the
little things.
Like the late great Albert Einstein said, Keep your eyes open.
Oh, fuck you. All right. That's it.
My final thought is, and it's the same question. Why would you want to make your child feel like they did something absolutely terrible? Why would you want to make them feel bad when they're experimenting with themselves or experimenting with their reality or their body or whatever it is? Guidance, like Manny said, is important. And the more you close off things, the more you put up roadblocks, the more rules you put up, is the less open you're gonna have with your child. More secrets. There are gonna be things that you don't know. And I'm not saying that my parenting is perfect. I'm not saying that my kids are gonna tell me everything, but I'm confident they're gonna tell me the majority. I'm confident because of what I've cultivated and the reaction I have to certain things that have happened. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with having communication. It is one thing of this podcast that we've always, I don't know what I would say, proponents of, or that we've advocated for, is communication. Communication between genders, communication between family, between friends, between sexes, between the children and parents. And it sucks that every time I do on a father's tale on this podcast, it's always the wrong communication being given to my kids, the wrong communication being given to kids in general. I'm not saying I'm going to give a roll of Magnum ribbed for her pleasure condoms to my son and say, get out there. No. What I am saying, though, is I'm not going to stifle their growth. I'm not going to have them put the fear of God in them to not experiment. I'm going to say, do it honest. Do it smart. Be protected. Keep your eyes open, like Joe says. Do the right thing, because I know you know what the right thing is, because I raised you. I'm not going to jump to, that's terrible. Don't you do that. Don't you ever do that. Let's be reasonable. Kids, like Joe said, if they want to do something, they're going to do something. So how about facilitate a little bit? Give them the room to experiment, but within reason, but be able to come to you for advice, to express an opinion, to tell you about an experience that they had, and go from there. I would have never had that conversation with my son had he hid his hickey. Never. You know what I'm saying? Those conversations are priceless. Those conversations build character. And if I chastise him, and I got on the bandwagon with chastising him like his mother and his nana did, he would never be open about anything about this again. He wouldn't. Why? Because the way he felt? Come on.
Joey, if you're listening, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
So I'm just being honest when it comes to this. And it's again, these fathers' tales, this is what it's about. It's about fathers dealing with situations with their kids and talking about it. And hopefully, if you're a single father out there and you're about to go through this, you hear it and you won't overreact, or you'll help rebuff an overreaction from a hyperactive grandmother or a hyperactive mother who thinks that the world is ending because you got a little temporary blemish on their neck. So with that being said, I'm Jason.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Manny.
And thank you for your time.
The last of the nice guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.